America's cyber
criteria of seeking help, who are fleeing persecution. Afghans, for example, I mean, they live in a country run by the Taliban, but they're being denied refugee status. So I'm wondering, why has such an exception been made for the Afrikaans, especially when the South African government says they're not in danger?
I think you may recall that on the president's first day in office, on January 20th of this year, he issued an executive order that paused U.S. refugee programs that had been going at record levels under the prior administration and had brought in people that we were not sure had been carefully vetted for national security issues, and put a pause on the refugee admission program in general. That pause, of course, was subject from the very beginning to exceptions where it was determined that this would be in the interest of the United States. Some of the criteria are making sure that refugees did not pose any challenge to our national security and that they could be assimilated easily into our country.
Shalom, shalom. I wanted to point this out real quick. Something I noticed about this Trump appointee. I don't know exactly who he is. Let me see who this is. One moment. What's his name? Slovakia. I should have had this pulled up. Anyway, I'll see if I can figure it out here in a minute. But something I noticed. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. First and foremost, I'm going to say this. I did a lesson a couple days ago, and I was way the hell off when I said that apartheid down there in South Africa, right, was what ended in the 60s. I was dead wrong. No, it ended in 1994. So these people act like, it's such a long time ago, and you got Trump letting these people in, or whatever. Then they all Edomites, and we all know what's going on. It's not a dog whistle, it's a damn bullhorn, man. But if you pay attention to the clip I just posted, or just put up before this right here, pay attention. Remnant saved, shalom to the elder. Okay, if you pay attention to that Trump appointee's tie, all right, and we all know a tie is basically Baal's penis. Okay. The Edomites, they're sick like that. They're natural born, LGBT3POs, man, all over the place. But if you pay attention to his tie, all right, and he's going in and he's talking about assimilating, making sure we can assimilate certain people. But what's the criteria? You got it. Skin color. You already know. Edomite. Okay. But pay attention to his tie. His tie had what? Which is a very strange tie, a very strange color scheme to be wearing. It had what? Orange, white, and blue. Go back and watch it. It had orange, white, and blue. And now look at what he was talking about going into, what the question posed to him. And look at this. I pulled this up. South African, right? South Africa flag, apartheid flag, right? 1928 to 1994. Look at the colors. Starting to make sense to you? See, this is all the scriptures go into it and said if they could deceive the very elect. But we see these things. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Let's grab some scriptures. And if you think that's a coincidence, you dead wrong. See, Esau Edom does these things. All right, let's grab some scriptures. Let's go to Matthew 24, verse 24. This is going to be real short. All right. For there shall arise false Hamashiach Yahushais, right? False Hamashiach, anointed, and false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. See, these devils think we don't see little shit like that. Okay. And understanding what's going on here. See, that old Edomite spirit is coming back. It's coming back just like they used to be. They ain't never changed. The scripture said there's nothing new under the sun. 2 Corinthians 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. For we are not ignorant of his devices. So we can plainly see it. It stuck out like a sore thumb when I saw that. Okay? It did. It stuck out like a sore thumb. Just a couple more. And I done read this scripture about 5 or 6 times in the last 3-4 lessons. But it is what it is. This is Psalm 73 verse 5. Let's go back here. For I was, verse 3, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And what them Edomites was doing down there in South Africa, man. I mean, it pales in comparison to the transatlantic slave trade. We all understand that. And there's some Jakes. There's a lot of Jakes, you know, still in what they call Africa, right? Even a Negro land, right? Right? We understand that. Okay? Verse 4. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, and violence cover them as a garment. They stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. And they're getting ready to get what? Welfare. You see that? They're getting ready to get welfare. You understand? Screw the Venezuela, screw the Israelites. You know, and it's very, very blatant. Anyway, I wasn't going to make this too long. Job 30, verse 10. They abhor me. They flee far from me and spare not to spit in my face. And that's exactly what this is. It's that old hatred coming right back. Which it never left them. You know, all their laws and changing this and changing that to suit exactly how they want to live. And then at the same time, imposing those laws upon you. Remember, the Constitution is just a goddamn piece of paper. And that's it. Real quick. That's all. Hope you got something out of that. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba, Shem Yahweh Shah. And every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharala and Wa Abai Babal. This red devil. He's going down soon come. All right. Shalom. All right, so check this out real quick. Okay. I'm going to put this in before the lesson. All right, and it's quick, real quick. That's all. This guy, Christopher Thomas Landau, right? Born November 13th, 1963, is a lawyer and a diplomat who has served as a United States Deputy of Secretary since 2025. He was previously, Slovakia, served as a United States Ambassador to Mexico, of all places. All right, I may put this after the lesson. It's the very same guy. Look, you see the tie he's got on, right? You understand? You see that tie he's got on with the orange and the white and the blue. Well, let's go on down here and check this guy out just a little bit more. Born Christopher Thomas Landau, November 13th, 1963, age 61, of Madrid, Spain. You hear that? All right. So you got people in the White House that weren't even born here. Make that make sense.